Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I kind of just wanted to go over my thoughts on the two big, signings, or ascensions, or whatever you want to call them, the Giants just made, these past, 2 days. And first off, the big one is probably, at least ones that probably most fans are probably more excited about is, I think Saquon Barkley, I thought there was a chance where this could have gotten really ugly. He could have held out and everything like that, but ended up signing him to, a 1 year deal, which I think's, pretty interesting, kind of surprised that Barkley kind of caved in so quickly. That kind of had, I'm guessing the whole holding out thing may have been a bluff, but and they have for him to be back at least one more year, on the Giants. And kind of some contract details. It was 1 year, I think it was about kind of the 10.1 million guaranteed, plus about $1 million in incentives, so you can make up to 11 million. So pretty close to the franchise tag offer, except that there's incentives and a signing bonus. So not too different from kind of the franchise tag, which I do think is very interesting. See, I wonder if, it was a thing for Saquon not to sign the franchise tag. But, I think, end of the day, I'm still very happy he's back. I think he provides a level of explosiveness to this offense that we just don't have. And I think that's the big thing that he really provided for our offense was the explosive plays, the big chunk plays, which I think we were really lacking a lot last year outside of him. So I think if we can improve the passing game chunk plays with Saquon Barkley, on this team, I think we can get to the point where we can maybe potentially have a really good offense, really improved offense. So he's a big part of that. I'm really happy he's back. I think he's really big for the Giants. Another big signing we had, this offseason was Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas, left tackle, all pro last year. You can argue he's arguably the best left tackle in football. Very underrated player, I think, across the league, to be honest with you. And he got paid. Like, he had a 5-year, $117.5 million extension. And that was guaranteed $67 million, which is actually a record for an offensive lineman. So I think Andrew Thomas, he got paid. Highest paid lineman in NFL history. I think this just kind of how the cap goes, when these big, elite players of their positions, when they are up for an extension, they kind of, break records and stuff like that because the cap just goes up and up and up. So definitely, I'm happy to see him paid. I think he's an elite left tackle. I think he's really good, obviously. I think he can be, the left tackle for another decade, possibly, for the Giants. So very happy to see him as the Giants. I think we really needed to lock him up, which we did. So very happy to see that, And I think he's arguably the best player in the offense. That may be controversial for people hear me say that, but I think the best player in this offense, the most important player on this offense, is probably Andrew Thomas at this point in time. Since I don't think Saquon would be as good without Andrew Thomas. I don't think Daniel Jones would be as good without Andrew Thomas. And I think, a very underrated aspect of last year's offense was that Andrew Thomas actually provided some blindside blocking for Daniel Jones, and you can see how much that actually helped him, not having to, worry about someone coming up right behind him, like maybe Andrew Thomas' rookie year, for example, or Daniel Jones' rookie year, the year. So I think, I'm really happy with this signing, I'm very interested to see how things, especially with Saquon, play out, in the future, I don't understand it was only a 1-year deal with Saquon, but we possibly going to extend him from that, maybe give him a 2-year extension on him, maybe give him a longer term deal, after this year if he stays healthy again, since I feel like that may be a big part of it from the Giants' perspective, since I think, Saquon hasn't always stayed healthy. I think that's something that's kind of the big elephant in the room. Can't ignore that. And I think for him the biggest thing is, can he actually stay healthy for another year? Which, I'm hoping he does, since I think a healthy Saquon can really helps this offense, really helps this team. He's our best skill position. And I think he's someone in the running game and also the passing game as well. He's very good out of the backfield passing. He's just so helpful for this Giants team. And I think for this offense to grow, he needs to be a part of it. He needs to be the elite player that he was last year. Because, I think, if he stays healthy, we can really start utilizing him even more. And so that's the passing game, for example. We really try to open this offense up. I think you can use him kind of maybe a little bit similar to how the 49ers kind of use, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is someone you see him a lot of times, kind of use someone as a receiver or something like that, or really creative ways to, get him the ball out the backfield in the passing game. And I'd love to see the Giants do that with Saquon Barkley. I think it can also help with his longevity as well, since I know running backs don't have the best longevity. Maybe you can hold some wear and tear on Saquon Barkley, even as, especially with him, he's someone who has a little bit of injury history. So I think, keeping him healthy, super important. I think having him be a big part of the passing game actually kind of helps with that. So, but yeah, kind of, like I said, though, kind of surprised Saquon Barkley signed. Didn't think he'd cave so quickly, especially after the whole meeting they had with the running backs. But happy to see he's back. Andrew Thomas, great left tackle. So happy he's back as well. We locked him up long term, something we needed to do. And, I think it just shows the way the league's going. The running backs aren't getting paid, but, left tackle, they've always kind of gotten paid for, quite a substantially long amount of time, But at the same time, yeah, it just shows, I think, let Schoen cook, you know what I'm saying? I think he's just doing a really good job with everything, So I'm happy to see, the main core of this team is going to be back. And I'm just really happy to hopefully see this team grow next year. Hopefully we can show improvements on this team and show that, I don't think we're going to be a contender, this year. But I just want to see strides to us getting there. Because I think, to get to the contender spot, we need to see improvements, this year. And then hopefully, maybe next year, or maybe even the year after that, maybe, another year or two possibly to be a real contender. But at the end of the day, you need to take steps to that. And I think, this year is a very important step to that. And I think Saquon and Andrew Thomas are big parts in that step. They both need to be here for us to help grow. So, very happy they're back. And I think, that's kind of the end of my little rambling on and everything like that. So, and hopefully, y'all enjoyed. I'd love to hear what y'all's, thoughts in the comments were on, kind of, these two signings, extensions, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so anyways, thank y'all for watching. Have a blessed day.